All right, today we're checking out the Pocket Dispo. This is a $50-ish lens that, after using this thing for a few months, I can confidently say, I think pretty much everybody watching this should have this lens in their kit. Let's check it out. So the first thing you notice is that this definitely does not look like a normal lens. Like, this is genuinely the size and shape of just a standard body cap. My copy here is even bigger than the standard version since I have this filter thread mounted to the outside here, which I'll kind of get into why in a little bit. And so as you can see, there's really just not a whole lot to this lens. It's basically the simplest lens you can get. But to be honest, the simplicity is basically my favorite part about this lens. Now lastly, before we get into it, this video is not affiliated or sponsored by Pocket Dispo in any way. I actually bought this lens for a recent trip I went on and ended up just falling in love with it. So obviously everything I say in this video is my personal opinion. I paid my own money for this lens. I just want to make sure I'm transparent about that, but without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to quickly run through the specs of it, show you some examples, as well as some downsides that you should definitely know before you go buy this lens for yourself. So to start off, this is a 28mm f10 lens, and it does cover a full frame, so 28mm on full frame. And then on a crop sensor, this will be closer to around 40mm, which is still a pretty standard focal length. Like I said, this is f10, so it's a fairly dark lens, and the aperture is also completely fixed. So no matter what, this lens is going to be an f10 lens. So the f10 aperture definitely brings some downsides, which we'll get into a little bit later. Now Pocket Dispo sells this in basically any lens mount. You can get this in almost any DSLR or mirrorless mount. I personally went with the EF mount just so I could adapt this to all my different mirrorless cameras. And so I can use this on my Sony a7S III, my Canon R8, my R50V, pretty much any of my mirrorless cameras, since like I said, I went with the EF mount. But if you personally just use one specific mount, I would recommend just buying this in the mount you have so you don't have to get adapters or things like that. Okay, now it's time for the real selling point of this. So this is an actual lens from those classic film disposable cameras that you can now use on any mirrorless or DSLR camera. And then the housing of this lens itself is 3D printed, which obviously keeps the cost down, and that is pretty much it. This is a fixed aperture, fixed focus lens, so you can't change the focus, you can't change the aperture, there's no electronics, you can't adjust anything on this. You really just toss this on your camera and start taking photos. So for the image quality itself, it's pretty much identical to those disposable film cameras. So it has a bunch of imperfections. It's kind of meant to have imperfections. And the photos coming out of this, they really give you that vintage, nostalgic look that so many people have been trying to go for these days and buying old point and shoots to try to get that look. But just being able to get those types of photos on any interchangeable lens camera now, that is my personal favorite part about this lens. It is so small that you can just keep it in your bag, in your backpack, in your camera bag, in your pocket, really anywhere with you, and capture that old nostalgic type of photo when you want to. As soon as you're done, as soon as you don't want to anymore, you can just take it off and throw on your standard lens right afterwards. I mean, honestly, you could just use this as your dedicated body cap, and then no matter what, you just have a lens on your camera. Like, this really is the exact same size and thickness as just a standard body cap. This isn't at all going to give you extremely sharp photos or great background separation, definitely not good low light performance, and I absolutely would not recommend, this being your only lens or only taking this lens with you on a photo shoot or anything like that. I'm not at all trying to say this is the best lens ever by any means, but really the combination of the size and weight, the price, and the look of the photos you get out of this just makes this a perfect lens to keep with you in case you ever want to get that vintagey, nostalgic looking photo or video. But like I mentioned earlier, there are definitely some downsides and things that you should know before you go out and purchase this lens. The first one being the f10 aperture is very, very difficult indoors or in any sort of low light conditions. And so obviously if you want to test this out, you can pretty much take any lens you already have, stop it down to f10, and just see where your ISO and shutter speed end up at. I found myself needing to bump up my ISO all the way up to like 6400, 12,800, or even higher sometimes. And that's the biggest limitation that I noticed with this. There were some times shooting indoors that I really just could barely even use this lens. Like, I had to bump the ISO up so far, or I had to have such a low shutter speed that I just really couldn't get a usable photo. So this lens definitely shines outdoors, and it definitely shines during the daytime when it's really bright outside. But again, that doesn't mean you can't get usable photos in other scenarios. It's just a lot more tricky. Also, being that this is a repurposed, tiny little disposable camera lens, it's really not the highest quality. So it really doesn't give you the sharpest look. It has a lot of chromatic aberrations and halation and kind of like ghosting in it. And especially around the edges and corners, this lens gets super, super soft and smeary. But really all of that plays into the style of photos you get out of this and really what you should expect if you purchase this lens. So again, if you want pristine image quality and really sharp photos, this just really isn't the lens for you. Alright, now lastly for the downsides and also why I have this filter thread glued to the outside of my lens here, this lens doesn't have a built-in filter thread, which means you can't put on ND filters and you can't put on special filter effects and things like that. And so because of the fact that the focus isn't adjustable at all, you pretty much have to have your subject about 1.5 meters away from the camera or farther for it to stay in focus. And so a lot of the times I was trying to take a photo of something close up and it just wouldn't be in focus. And so I ended up throwing on a +10 diopter and getting some macro B-roll and stuff that ended up turning out surprisingly good. So I personally just Gorilla Glued this 72 to 67 millimeter step down ring right to the front here. It definitely doesn't look the best, but it gets the job done, and I'm really not worried about the looks with this lens as it is. If you wanted to do something a little bit less permanent, you could probably find other ways, and you could even just tape this on or something like that. But I figured on mine at least, I'll pretty much always want a filter thread for something, so I might as well just leave it on permanently. So I started out using these macro extension tubes to get close-up shots, and overall these did work pretty well for me, but after trying these thread-on diopters, I liked these a lot better. They were just a lot simpler to use. I feel like these also gave slightly sharper, better-looking results. So you literally just thread these right under the front of the lens. You can even stack these and thread a couple of them together to get like super macro shots, which I kind of messed around with that a little bit as well. Just keep in mind the shots definitely aren't going to be super sharp, but the whole point of this lens really is to lean into that imperfect, unique look. And I feel like it gets pushed even further when you use weird diopter filters and things like that to mess around with this. So if you do want a filter thread to put on an ND filter, a polarizing filter, or really any other types of filters or diopters or things like that, you kind of have to go my route and just like glue or tape or, you know, find a way to attach a filter thread on the front of this, which really isn't that big of a loss or issue since at the end of the day, it's like a $40 or $50 lens. And so those are my thoughts on the Pocket Dispo. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think this lens is worth the price? Would you keep this in your kit just in case you want to get this vintage style photo? Either way, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.